dead. The one-word description of the state of the Ghana Premier League and consequently Ghana football in general. Last night, JoyNews learned of an injunction notice served on the Ghana Football Association by Accra Great Olympics, a relegated club, aggrieved that its petition to address unfair treatment in the previous season had been turned down. It is one of many setbacks suffered by the Ghana Premier League in the last decade, where legal battles, corruption, poor officiating, lack of sponsorship, and many more have been the order of the day. The fans whose interest would have sparked a revolution in the game are rather interested in the English Premier League, thought to be better managed. Today we're taking a close look at Ghana football. Why is it not living up to expectations now? What can be done to improve the situation? Let's start with the experts. Benedict Owusu of Joy Sports is on this beat for us. He's been speaking to a coach, a scout.
It looks as if we keep repeating the same mistakes for almost 3-4 consecutive seasons. Every season, the league delays. You can't follow calendar. And you ask yourself, what are these people doing? Because what I know is that maybe you did it the first one, you learn lessons from it, you not repeat it again. But you repeated the same mistakes. And you can't even understand. I mean, it's not good for planning. Now clubs know that they are starting the league on Sunday. Now there is an injunction, so it has put the whole program in disarray. They don't know when the league will start. They don't know whether they should keep the players. I mean, the costs build up. Meanwhile, the league doesn't have sponsor. And all these things contribute to corporate Ghana run away from the league, because you can't plan with the league. Let's say that, like I was saying this morning, Star Times was planned as a television rights sponsor to yesterday beam the lunch. They've had their program for the league. I mean, because they're beaming it throughout the world. And all of a sudden, you are served with injunction because somebody was negligent. Somebody didn't do his work well. And it's put the whole program that you've planned, I mean, I don't know how to put it. You put it off. How do you plan again? If they say that now we are coming to, how can you even, I mean, go with them that this time around they will stick to their time? This is a problem. It's a problem.
With everything that is going on, would you advise that we even stop playing the league for some time, maybe a year or 2 or 3, and get all these things together before we come again?
The thing is that all these issues have always been the discipline committee, the appeals committee, unless the judicial bodies. So are we saying that we can't find antidote to that? Is that what we're saying? I don't subscribe to the idea of let's stop for 1 year or 2 years. No. I think something should be done. There should be a change of management. There should be a change at the FA. I've always, consistently, some of us, we've said it. Kwesi Nyentechi, he has outlived his usefulness. And apologies for that, but I have to say it. Because there's nothing he can do for us again. Ghana football keeps going down, 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 and it doesn't look like it will come up. And it's sad. It's very sad. Certain times, I mean, when you sit back and you love football and you look at things that is happening, I mean, you ask yourself, we are supposed to think now in this age. Are these people thinking? Are they planning to make things better? Or they still want to go with the old system, the old mentality? I mean, this is weird. In this day and age, still somebody can go to courts and put injunction on the league, where you have a judicial processes. FIFA, CAF, they have all these laws governing it. You just apply the laws. If somebody doesn't understand that, the only place you can go is CAS. So what is a law court again? And I learned that yesterday, after Olympics put the injunction, they came out with a ruling or whatever. So if you can do that, what they need to do earlier? I mean, sometimes you don't get it. You see, I think what we need now is change. Fresh ideas, fresh people that will move Ghana football forward.
Ghana football has lost its spirit. The soul is not there. You know, people who are supposed to be part of the game, to put in their money, are nowhere to be found now. The game is gone down the drain, you know, unless they come together to put things in place. Either than that, the game is going to continue to be like this and nothing is going to happen. This morning I was saying on Asempa FM that we've seen Azakes, Wise and the rest, all the traditional teams of Oko United going down the drain, Division 1, Division 2. It is the same way that Has and Kotoko will one day find themselves in Division 1. It nearly happened with Asofok, but for the legal things that the FA did to save Asofok from going to relegation. The football has lost its spirit. And if we don't take care, the game is going to crash and that will be the end of it. It's going to collapse.
Is that the reason why recently we are not able to get sponsorship for the league? In the last 3 years, we've played the league without a headline sponsor.
Yeah, no headline sponsor, because who would like to put his money in a game that attracts no supporters? People do not have any interest. The game do not attract even 10,000 supporters in a week. Unless Has and Kotoko plays, you will not get even 10,000 people at the stadium. So you will not get mileage. First Capital Plus did not get any mileage. Glow did not. And so to me, whoever comes in to say I'm putting my money in will think twice that where am I going to get the mileage? And surely you will not get it. Everything is going bad, and it is about time the GFA wakes up to solve the situation. Either than that, it's going to crash. The Black Stars, the flagship of our football, has crashed out of the World Cup. We did not qualify to the 2018 World Cup. And the local league too, or the local football too, is also not going well. Either they wake up or they crash.
Should a friend who is a coach like yourself come to you for advice to probably come and coach in the Premier League? Would you advise the person to do that?
Well, for survivor's sake, I might say go and coach. But if I have a brother who has money and is asked to put his money into football, I will say no.
And so that's what the pundits think. In case you have doubts about what they're saying, we have a poll running on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll find out what the people think about Ghana football. But before that, let's bring you a Vox. We've been speaking to people on the street about their own thought about Ghana football.
I like Ghana football because I'm a Ghanaian.
No, I don't like Ghana football. And the reason is that because it is not attractive. Seriously, it's not attractive. They don't have a good players. I have a team that I support, Accra Asofo, but there's no players at Accra Asofo. There's no players in the Kotoko. All of them. So the league side is not attractive. So I always watch Premier League and Spanish League.
I really like Ghana football because it's something that we've been born with, and anything local has to do with emotions, okay? And to some extent, anytime that we feel that we are at a crossroad as Ghanaians, football seems to be uniting us. That's a fact. We forget about even so many things in retrospect, even when we are at the crossroad.
You see, when they are playing Ghana football and then you compare it to European football, you can see that it doesn't go well. The pitch, it doesn't go well. And one thing is, I'm not a football fan, so I can't say more, but when I compare it to European football, I see European football has developed far.
I really like it, but then things need to be straightened up, you understand. I don't know what is wrong with the GFA. If something can be done about it so that we can meet the foreign standard, you understand. The foreign football is nice. When they are playing, you see some quality in it. So we can just do the same to Ghana football, and I think everything will work out.